Okay, let me explain. There is a difference that most people fail to realize in their lifetime, that there is a big difference between being busy and being productive. Okay? Here's the difference, the way that I see it. Being busy is creating a business card. Being productive is giving it to someone. Here we go. Productive, successful people don't do emotionally draining activities. What I would like for you to do right now is I want you to start thinking of some of the things. Think of just today, the past, let's say, 24 hours. Have you experienced any emotionally draining activities in your life? Just today, let's say. Sometimes you can say you're just going to go check something on your social media page, but you end up there for like 2 or 3 hours. And not only did you waste your time being on there for 2 or 3 unproductive hours, but you also don't feel good about yourself. Right? So that can be, maybe it's a time limit that you need to give yourself. If you're emotionally feeling drained after you do something like that, that is a red flag, and you need to be aware of that. Right? Some more emotionally draining activities could be people, right? It could be places. It can be things. Start thinking of that. It could be someone, right? You communicate, or you're talking to someone, whether it be in person or over the phone, and guess what? By the time you get off the phone with them, you're emotionally drained. Like somebody right now may have some things scheduled right now to do tomorrow with some emotionally draining people. You have an emotionally draining activity that you're going to. Because I don't care how strong you are, no matter what activity you're doing, if you're volunteering yourself to be around an emotionally draining situation, that's not going to come out good for you. Right? So start paying attention to that. Maybe there's some places. Right? I've done massive, extensive research on alcoholism, right, and drug addictions. And what happens is you get triggered. There's something that they call triggers, right? So during those emotionally draining activities, you may also want to pay attention to the places that you're going that's emotionally draining you. Let's go to another one. Productive, successful people don't worry about things that they can't control. Right? This is another way that we're wasting our time, and it's taking away from our time from building what we want to build. Right? It says productive, successful people don't worry about things that they can't control. What are some things that you're worried about right now that you cannot control at all? I mean, countless times, so many of us at different times of our life, we say, oh, we lost our imagination. We don't have any more imagination. I mean, but really think about it. Stop right now in your tracks and really think about how big your imagination is. I mean, your imagination is so big that you're thinking right now about a problem that you don't even have, that doesn't even really exist. And you're playing it out step by step. You know this is going to happen, and then you know that is going to happen, and then you know this is going to happen. Like, what are some of those things that you're worried about right now that have not even happened, and more than likely it will not happen? I'm telling you right now, you identify some of the things that you're worrying about right now that you cannot control. You cannot control the future, ladies and gentlemen. The only thing that you can control is the present moment. The moment that we're in right now, right? And that's why it says productive, successful people don't worry about things that they cannot control. I mean, some of you are worried about the compensation plan. Some of you are worried about the direct deposit. I mean, nobody's complaining about how much we're getting paid, but we have questions about the compensation. We're worried about the compensation plan. If I do the work, will I get paid? I mean, you can't control that. Some of you guys are worried about if we're going to get a new feature in one of our programs, right? There's rumors going around that our programs are going to be enhanced again, and they're going to add new things to the program before 2019 is coming out. So they're working on things behind the scenes, right? And some of us are already worried about the new features that aren't even here right now. And what I'm challenging you guys to do is to respect what we're talking about in this article. It's talking about productive, successful people don't worry about things they can't control. Why don't they worry about things that they can't control? Because they don't have time for that. It's already difficult. Look, if you forget worrying about the things that you can't control, think about how difficult it is just to handle the things that you can control. Forget about what's going on that you can't control. Worry about that. What if that's what you worried about every night before bed? You was worried about, are you going to make a sale the next day? Worry about that. You're worrying about things that you can't control. Somebody brought to me that Kevin Hart is, cheated on his wife, on his pregnant, and they want me to take that seriously. I don't know if it's true or not, but this is what I'm trying to tell you. Listen, I don't even know the guy. Why I'm going to worry about is it true or not? You see what I'm saying? Like, some of us is worried about something that we done seen on Facebook today. Somebody posted a bag full of money on social media today, and you know what?
I wanted with
talk about social media.
But I only got a damn dollar.
Hold on. See that right there? I'm going to give you a prime example. That's somebody.
I blew them out the water in 7 frames.
Right, my computer's taking a while. Hold on, guys. It sounds like somebody needs to make some money.
I kicked the ass.
Hold on 1 second. What's his name?
I do the same thing with the pool table downstairs.
Whose name is that? Whose name is that?
I've always been versatile doing that.
See, and I'm a address that as soon as my see, that fits right into, I don't know who that is, but that fits right into what we're talking about tonight. Like, I was always taught, like, listen, if you're going to be somewhere, right? Whoever that is that's speaking on the call right now, they're here, but they're talking over, like, why don't you do one or the other? See, that person right there, we call that, I don't know what generation y'all grew up in, but I grew up in an era, my era called that wasting time. And it's like, what that person is basically doing is the metaphor of chasing 2 rabbits. And what happens when you chase 2 rabbits, right? You're not going to get either of them if you chase 2 rabbits. You see what I'm saying? You're not going to get any of the rabbits. So this guy is on the call, and he's talking to somebody else. And he's probably watching TV at the same time. So he's all over the place. And what do we call that? We call that wasted time. And then 5 years from now, or maybe a year from now, you know what that guy's going to say? That guy's going to say, oh, that Ameriplan stuff didn't work out. And little does he see, he only tell, like Dr. Phil says, no matter how flat you make a pancake, there's always 2 sides to it. Or people like that guy that I don't know who it is, and hopefully he takes this as a message that he needs to get his shit together, because that don't make sense. And I'm not saying that he can't do what he wants to do. I'm just saying pick one, finish the conversation, and then hop back on the call. You hop back off and then hop back on. But that is a prime example of somebody wasting their time trying to do more than one thing. It just doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense. I just grew up that way, right? When I was in college, I learned that from one of my professors, right? Listen, if you're going to be in class, why don't you learn? Why not learn? You're going to be in class. You come into class. You paid for the class. You're coming to the class. Why are you going to play around in class? Why? Why are you playing around in class? If you're there, you might as well learn, and it's not like learning will, put you in a predicament where you'll either lose your life or you'll go to jail for learning. Those days are over. It used to be illegal to learn for a certain group of people. Let's just call those colored people or Negroes back in the day, depending on when your generation is. It used to be illegal to learn. That's the only excuse he would have for having that conversation. Is if he was trying to show somebody that he is not able to learn. Maybe he's still stuck back when it was illegal. I don't know how old he is. Maybe. Whew. That don't make sense. And that's a grown person. And, you know, if we don't teach people at a very young age, you know, they just become grown-ass kids, right? And listen, sometimes I feel like if I don't say it, they might not learn it. Maybe he already heard this before, and this is just a reminder, but I'm saying this for the person who never heard it before. Like, it just don't make sense. It's not profitable. Productive, successful people don't hang out with negative people. I know what y'all saying. I'm not on Facebook to see the comments, but somebody probably already wrote, birds of a feather flock together. But wait a minute, wait a second. I need to check the type of feathers these birds have, because what happened was everybody was saying, well, birds of a feather flock together, but I started noticing that we wasn't breaking down what type of feathers these birds are like. We talking about robins, we talking about eagles, we talking about turkeys, chickens. What type of birds are you trying to put me in a group with? Birds of a feather do flock together, but wait a minute, let me check what type of feathers you got. Birds of a feather flock together is true, but I need to know what type of birds you trying to group me in with. Because if you look, pigeons is birds, eagles are birds, turkeys are birds, chickens are birds, robins are birds. There's a bluebird. I need to know what type, right? So listen to what I'm trying to tell you. Productive, successful people don't hang out with negative people. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. And again, we're talking about wasting time. Some of y'all is spending a lot of your time helping people who don't want your help. Look, you wasting time building your business because you want a badge of honor for helping somebody that you feel attached to. You better stop acting like you owe people something. I'm trying to tell you that you're taking away time from building your business. Productive, successful people do not hang with negative people. Am I talking about your cousin? Yes. Am I talking about your boss? Yes. Am I talking about your neighbor? Yes. Key word is hang out. You can be cordial, you can be respectful, you can do all of those things, but they do not hang out with negative people. As the great Jay-Z once quoted, never argue with a fool, because from a distance, it's difficult to tell who is who. Productive, successful people don't hang around with negative people. It's as simple as that. If you're living the type of life that, you want to be living, hey, that's cool. I tell you this, what is that, Bill Gates? Bill Gates started Microsoft. He started building Microsoft when he was, 13 years old? I mean, how much time do you think that he had to waste on his friends that, like me? Like, you see what I'm saying? This guy's at 13 building Microsoft. The company we now know is Microsoft. That's what he was building at 13. Need I continue to go down the list? Productive, successful people don't hang with negative people. And the reason why they don't do that is because their time. They say what? You're an average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. You hanging around 4 negative people, we know who the 5th one is. And you probably are more negative than all the rest of them because you done seen it all. So you're not just another negative person in that group. You are the best negative person You're so negative. You're so good at being negative, you can fool people that you're not negative. But it's always that awkward moment when you're the negative person. And I know about being a negative person because if I ever go down the path of being negative, there's no one that can be more negative than me. I am the greatest. You want to get negative, and if you catch me at a moment where the name of the game is to be who can be more negative, I'm winning. And I'm aware of that, which is why I choose not, I'm conscious of not being a negative person. Productive, successful people don't dwell on past mistakes. Here it is. Productive, successful people don't dwell on past mistakes. Successful people make mistakes. Everyone makes mistakes. The key to being successful in life is not making the same mistake twice, learning and growing from mistakes and becoming a better person because of them. Successful people don't dwell on past mistakes. What didn't you do today? What didn't you do today? What mistake did you make today that you're going to still be thinking about tomorrow? Hey, it ain't nothing wrong with thinking about your mistakes because he who doesn't think about his mistakes will never solve his mistakes. So, yes, you must think about your mistakes, but in between your thinking about your mistake and dwelling in it, you have to be doing something about it. As soon as you think of a mistake, you have to begin the path of correcting that mistake. Listen to what I'm trying to tell you. Successful people don't dwell on past mistakes. And listen, don't follow me. Follow my moves. It's another Jay-Z quote. Don't follow me, homie. Follow my moves. Here's what the deal is. Follow this move that I do. I've mastered not dwelling on my past mistakes so well that by the time you talk to me about my last mistake, you're outdated because I already made another mistake since then. You got to keep up. How long is too long to dwell on your past mistake? And remember, everything that we're talking about tonight is business conscious. When I say it's business conscious, I'm saying for that person, okay, your job. You have a job. How many days do they give you to mourn when one of your family members passes away? I don't know what it is now, but when I used to have a job, it used to be maybe 3 to 7 days to mourn. That could be your mama. Your mama just died. They're going to tell you how much time you have to mourn. But here's what I'm talking about here, dwelling on your past mistakes. How long do you dwell in it, right? If your job don't give you a long time, look, what kills me, and I know there may be somebody that takes offense to this, but it kills me to no end. Some of y'all will, whether it's mourning somebody or you're sick or you got injured, you'll go into your job. And on that same day, you'll take off from your business. And then you'll use the excuse, you're dwelling. You got to get through this. I just lost this family member. I just got out the hospital. I have this cold. Okay, but listen, if you go to your job, why can't you do your business? I'll wait. Matter of fact, I won't wait because that's a bunch of garbage. It's a bunch of malarkey.
Hey, Mom! I'm on TV!